first it looked like a small argument. A party, an invitation, a simple no, but that no, as we remember, landed on a month of silence, fear, and things neither of them dared to say out loud. So when Ilya and Shane started arguing, Ilya didn't just get angry, he exploded. Shane didn't know what's happening, so he said like, "What's wrong?" And Ilya replied, "What isn't wrong?" Ilya finally said the thing he had been holding inside, and he felt like a secret, that he had a boyfriend who didn't want the world to know he existed. Shane's eyes like widened in surprise, like, "Oh, sorry, did I miss something? I thought we were on the same page about this." But Ilya was like, "We are not on the same page about anything." Shane was genuinely confused. From his point of view, they agreed on this, and that's true. They were both hiding, they were both being careful, but Ilya saw it differently. Shane had told his friends. Ilya had told no one, which meant Shane had people, and Ilya had just, silence. When Shane tried to say that they both made sacrifices, Ilya turned on that word. He was like, "Sacrifices? What had Shane actually given up?" Shane spoke about the risk of being outed, the risk for their careers, and then he said something that was like another knife to Ilya. He said that everything could be lost if the truth came out. Shane literally said it, "If we are outed, everything I care about is gone." Everything. And Ilya was like, "Everything you care about. How about me?" Oh, he didn't say it. Then Shane said even more cruel thing. Without meaning it to be cruel, he just said what he thought. He said that he still wanted to win cups instead of smoking weed with his teammates between losses. Meaning what Ilya was doing right now. And in doing so, he reduced Ilya's entire choice to a lack of ambition. He turned Ilya's sacrifice into laziness, as if Ilya didn't want to be on a competitive team, but would rather choose an easy, relaxed life. And that was the moment the fight became unbearable. The words hit Ilya like a cross-check to his teeth, because Shane truly didn't understand anything. Ilya could have stayed in Boston. He could have been the star of that top team, breaking records, leading them to more trophies. He is capable of it. He wants it. But instead, he chose Ottawa. Not for hockey, for Shane. He chose the city where Shane lived. He chose a harder road. He sacrificed his career, well, in a way. And Shane thought it meant that he wanted it easier, so he wouldn't have to work so hard. Ilya wanted to punch a wall. I wanted to punch a wall too. That misunderstanding was the real want. Not cruelty, just blindness. Ilya never said it out loud. He assumed love made it obvious, his choice, what he sacrificed. Well, it didn't. So, already heartbroken by Shane's blindness and complete misreading of the situation, Ilya asked one very important question. He said, "You wouldn't even choose me, would you? If it's between me and hockey." And Shane hesitated. "Of course I would," he said, but not as confidently as Ilya had hoped. So Ilya was studying his face, and he saw Shane flinch. The hesitation told Ilya everything, and then Shane turned the question back on him. "Would you choose me?" Oh my god. And that was a moment Ilya broke, because the question itself was an insult. Not only did Shane not see what Ilya already given up, he didn't even trust the depth of his love by asking this question. That hurt more than anything else. It shows that Shane doesn't see how strong Ilya's feelings were if he assumes that Ilya would choose hockey over him. I mean, they said, "I love you" so many times, and still Shane didn't fully believe that, thinking that hockey could be more important for Ilya. Finally, quietly, Ilya said, "You should go." Yes, he told Shane to leave. Not because he wanted him gone forever, but because he couldn't stand to be seen like that, like heartbroken. Remember our sunshine, Ilya, yes, always ahead of everybody, couldn't stand to be seen like that broken. Shane didn't understand that. He kept pushing, like, no way, answer the question, would you choose me over hockey? But Ilya was done, so he said firmly, like, no, go home, Shane, we can talk later. Shane seemed unsure whether Ilya was like serious, so Ilya made it clear. So he said, I don't want to look at you right now. I don't want to talk to you. Go home. Oh. But Shane, as we remember, clueless up to that moment, couldn't leave anything alone, so he asked again, so would you choose me over hockey? He still didn't get it. Ilya snapped. He backed Shane against the wall, not to hurt him, but because he was losing control of himself. He would never hurt Shane, but his own fury was scaring him. And Shane, not scared, was looking at him fiercely, refusing to back down from the fight. But Ilya didn't want to fight. He was exhausted, miserable, like humiliated, and tired. His boyfriend was tearing him apart without realizing it. So quietly, in a low voice that couldn't disguise his pain, he said the one sentence that ended the fight. He said, I already chose you, Hollander. He stepped back and watched Shane's eyes widen. Shane didn't remember the drive home. He'd been consumed by a storm of like anger, shock, fear, and shame. I already chose you, Hollander, was like repeating in his head. He realized that Ilya had given up a whole life for him, for them, and that was the first fight that left Shane feel terrified. It wasn't like their first fight, they had it before, but it was the first one where Ilya didn't fight back. He was tired, he was exhausted, and Shane felt that Ilya may give up on them. For the first time, Shane saw it. Their relationship had always been about Ilya fitting into his life, not the other way around. He felt all that, and he wanted to go back immediately to apologize, but Ilya asked for space, so Shane did the only thing he could. He called his mother and said out loud what he had finally realized, that the man he loved had given up a whole future for him. Later, he opened Ilya's Instagram. He had barely even looked at it before, and suddenly he saw a pattern. Every post was a message, a memory, a code only he would understand. There was the plastic wedding rings from Hayden's daughter. Oh yeah, they got them married when Shane and Ilya was babysitting. There was also a picture of the balance ball on which Shane liked to balance in Ilya's gym, Ilya's loon tattoo. So it wasn't like a public page. His entire account was like a secret diary of their relationship, full of inside jokes and little references that only Shane would understand. Like love letters in code. Ilya had been loving him publicly, not just in a way the world could read. And Shane scrolled through it, crying, finally understanding how fiercely Ilya loved him and how wrong he had been to doubt it. This fight was never about a party or a hockey. It was about two people loving each other, while one of them was suffering in silence and the other didn't see what that love was costing. So not about losing each other. Ilya never felt like ending this relationship. He was suffering, but he never wanted to end it. It was more about not seeing each other. Like, I see you, Navi. That started to be missing. Ilya didn't need Shane to choose him over hockey. He needed Shane to understand that he already had chosen him with his city, his career, his whole life. And, well, Shane didn't lose Ilya that night, but for the first time, he was terrified he could, because Ilya didn't fight back. He was just exhausted. Oh, in pain. And next, they will face something even more terrifying than this fight. A plane that almost doesn't land, and a future they want that almost never begins, and their realization that love isn't something you can postpone, like, oh, let's wait for 10 years and then be together. No, 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 you can't postpone it. Time is not endless, and their silence may cost too much for them in the end. So if they don't choose each other now, one day there may be no time left to choose at all. Curious what happened next? Watch my next video to see how everything changes in an instant, because right now we're at this point when they're both heartbroken. Ilya just down, and Shane feels down as well for not seeing everything. But don't worry, soon everything changes, and it changes for good.